think everybody gonna be plugged in on this one. Yo, what's up? This your boy Z to the Energy, and this is a homecoming special that we finna do at Tribal Country for the Fold. So just sit back, relax, and just enjoy. Yo, peace to all the guys and goddess. Yo.
Then my man keep referring to the other guy as cuz. All right, what's up, cuz this, cuz that. That's all to the water tribes. You talking about Crips. So then you see in Avatar, the people came for unobtainium. Unobtainium is gold. They can't get it nowhere else because ain't no other beings walking on any other planet with the golden heart like the Earth ladies. The fact that they here and their mitochondrial is on, the Earth secretes gold in its bile. We just got to dig to get to it.
Yeah.
I know I see a lot of fluctuating going on with like this frequency as well, Rod. Like I seen reports of like people like just like vanishing out of like thin air. Like it was a video that I seen on TikTok. It was like maybe like 8 to 10 people that was in the ER, and everything they just poof. Like everybody got up in there. They were just looking like what's going on. He was like right there. It was
you see the bus? Did you see the school bus?
I seen the school bus too. Yeah, with the children on it.
So when the frequency go up, everything don't go with it.
Wow. So these people that's like on a lower frequency, or these people
they warped out of the reality that we moving into because their frequency is not compatible.
That explains a lot of the stuff I've been seeing over there in the Europe and Asia and stuff like that. Because you see people like just getting up and they act like they see something, they spin around, then they just like die. You know what I mean?
Right, because they being earth scanned. The earth itself sends out a pulse. Anything don't match the frequency is turning that shit off.
Okay.
By the time the earth get done with natural disasters, man-made disasters, because the man got to do the work of nature when he think he doing his own shit. Mm-hmm. He doing the work of nature. So by the time Mother Nature get done, using all agencies available, it ain't gonna be this many people here. We already rich, right? We just trying to figure out how to keep somebody that want to work. Because when we all get rich, ain't nobody gonna want no job.
Oh yeah, that is.
Ain't nobody gonna want no job. Then we ain't even be able to spend our money with our rich ass. Who gonna be working in the stores? Everybody rich.
Thank you.
Right? Who gonna clean the shit up out the cow pastures because everybody rich? Don't nobody want the dirty job. So we gotta create a species of bot that Mother Earth won't turn off. Mm-hmm. Somebody gotta do the work.
Somebody gonna have to.
They think they're gonna go to heaven and cross their legs for eternity and watch Jerry Springer and Maury Povich. It's not gonna happen. Heaven on earth.
Yep.
Just give back to these women and let them do their feng shui, and you'll see it.
So with the floods, that's coming in, I just feel like that personally. I just feel like that's like a saging or like kind of like a Oshun just coming to like purify the land, so to speak.
You pretty much accurate, because somebody got to wash this motherfucker. Now notice the floods ain't Noah severe, right? That mean they not power washing it. They just doing general maintenance and cleaning. Mm-hmm. And Marcus Garvey was explaining to us that we work through the elements of the earth by the collective focus in the collective egregore, which is the universal mind, in the right direction. then we get a series of events that shows the turnabout. Like most of us, probably 90+% is totally unaware that the planet ship Nibiru orbit has been altered so as it doesn't flip the crust of the Earth, right? But back in January of this year, the center of the Earth, the core, stopped.
I remember
for
that.
a couple of days, and then it reversed its spin.
Time itself had stopped that day too.
Yeah, and in quantum entanglement, right? If two things can be in two distant parts of the universe, if you change the spin in one, it automatically reverses the spin of the other. Right? So when Nibiru was approaching, instead of grabbing a hold with a strong magnetic field, shifting the entire tectonic system of plates, it's only affecting the core of the Earth because it's not close enough like before. Before they came through like bullies, bumping planets out the way because they could. But they thought it was an uninhabited region of the universe. Then they found out we was already here. Now they want to do business with us.
Hey, Rod, I noticed something with my kids too. Like I could see they features is starting to change. Cause they be in the sun so much, like every day, because they love getting into the pool and playing outside, and that sun just giving them that radiation, that you know, the vitamins that we need from the sun. And I just see it with the color, the tone of their skin is actually like you know, like the prismatic flickering.
Well, one of the things we're seeing, the solar flares, is telling the Earth to change frequency, right? And when the Earth changes frequency, the Earth in turn tells the organisms of the planet of the new frequency used in the DNA communication system of mitochondria. So once it changes over, the frequency of the children start to change. We used to glimmer in the sunlight. Now, if we ain't sweating, we ain't glimmering.
Yeah, they call us the shining ones.
Right. So it creates a radiance about the individual who's absorbing the solar rays and experiencing the alterations in the Earth. We're just going back to the beginning all over again at the close of the age.
No.
You on mute.
It's like a restart, just starting from the beginning, right? Like
right. That's why the Mayan calendar ended in 2012. That was the close of the age. It was done. Right. But wasn't nobody capable of closing it all out.
Right.
So 3 chiefs told me, hey, come out the library, bookworm. Well, you motherfuckers sitting me in here. Yeah, but it's time for you to do some work. What y'all want me to do? We want you to do a social media campaign. I hate social media. That's why we want you to do it.
So when does the 7 years start?
The what?
The 7 years. The 7 years of the tribulation or something like that.
I don't know nothing about no gloom and doom.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about that. I have not been shown gloom and doom. We gonna have some cleanup. Some people gonna cross over to the other side. Some people ain't gonna make the ascensions, but some will.
Right.
That don't mean that they supposed to make it though.
They might not even want to make it.
Low vibrational beings is in hell in a high vibrational reality. High vibrational being is in hell in a low vibrational reality. It's an energy incompatibility at work.
Yep.
Low vibrational beings in a high vibrational location feel like they being picked on and bullied by all these love and light ass motherfuckers.
I see.
Right.
That.
But the high vibrational being in a low vibrational environment strong enough to take the punishment longer than the low vibrational being in a high vibrational environment.
That's so divine that he even say that, because I've met a lot of people who, you know, they in the love and light, and ain't nothing wrong with the love and light. It's a beautiful thing, but they often use that as a way to bypass their own inability to take and handle, you know, a little bit of the negative, lower vibrational suffering that most people have to experience in their life, and they ignore it. And they feel like it's not there. That's not their reality. If you are living on this planet right now, everybody's reality is your reality. We may not experience it the same way, but it's all a shared reality. Like Rob was saying, we share a whole freaking consciousness on this planet. So ain't no getting away from the suffering of another, unless you just want to flat out ignore that shit like it ain't because it ain't happening to you.
Or you don't got no empathy.
Yeah.
If you don't got no empathy, you're gonna get turned off.
You can shut the fuck down.
If you can't feel somebody else's pain when you doing the dirt, you can't stay here. Mm-mm. You gotta feel what you doing to them, so you would know you don't want that shit done to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that I feel the connection with Earth like that, because I love too hard, and I just hate to see pain. And because you know, family members, they do it to us all the time. You're like, man, if I was somebody else, would they do that to them? You know what I mean? And you have to endure that pain that comes from, you know,
that's University Earth. That's University Earth. Nature puts you between 2 points, a stressor and a buffer. Mm-hmm. Or they call it in psychology between pleasure and pain. In masonry, they call it between the two pillars, Joaquin and Boaz. Right? In the Kabbalah, it's the left-hand path and the right-hand path. Yeah. Right? But it's all the same thing. You between a stressor, that which agitates you, and a buffer, that which soothes you, mm-hmm. in order for you to assimilate a lesson. If you don't get the lesson, you experience more of the severity. More of the severity, yeah. If you assimilate the lesson, now you fall into the buffer range where you experience the pleasure of completing the lesson. It's the same goddamn shit we use to train dogs. It's just done on a higher level with nature. Yep. We just learn how nature operate and use it to train animals. Nature training us and we training animals. Right? And the ones of us that they call the guides are supposed to train the people. Yeah. That's the only difference between a human and a guide. The guides are just the ones that's sent to train the people on how to become a guide. How do you apply your will to this life so you don't have to live a predestined path, an artificial ego? The predestined path is the lazy path. And most of the time, if you're supposed to be operating from divine will and you operating in predestination, you operating in pure suffering. Right. That's why this is the chapter of misery. Mm-hmm. This is the time of the pauper gods. All them old souls strong enough to take the oppression, because oppression is atmospheric. You only going to stay at the bottom as long as you can tolerate it. Then you're going to start moving up.
Yep. I'm starting to feel it. Because I've been down here like so long. I'm like, I just had to, the way I had to redo and figure out my whole life, I had to grow from it and learn from it. But at the same time, I had to reprogram myself to like understand, to accept things, but accept it with humbleness and try to move up from it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. See, when we realize that everything is just an opportunity for us to learn, it's not a mistake when you learn from it, it's a lesson. If it's a mistake, you're going to keep repeating it until you learn from it. Then it ain't no mistake no more, it's a lesson. It's just a hard lesson when it takes you 2, 3, 4, 5 times to learn it.
And if it keeps being a mistake, it's a choice. You choosing it. Mm. Even if you don't make a choice, you choose it.
Yeah. And a lot of the pauper guys, they want the suffering. You got to remember, as a whole light being, you don't feel no emotions. Mm-hmm. In the most intense emotional experience you can experience is suffering and love, stressor and the buffer. In the whole stressor, the suffering part, is to find something to love in order to relieve the pressure. That's why those whose birth path is to walk alone always accompanied with a familiar.
Yeah.
So you ain't never really truly alone. You just have to reposition your psychology in order to assimilate a broader spectrum of light, which is a broader spectrum of life. Mm-hmm. And as you reverse engineer everything you come across. Because if they engineered it and they told you a lie about it, when you reverse engineer it, you're going to run into a snag. Mm-hmm. When I reverse engineer America, something wasn't right. But I just couldn't quite place my finger on it until I learned what blood magic was.
Yeah.
Then it was clear as day. Because I recognized that the Constitution that they used to, the original Constitution, or the secondary, I should say, Constitution was written in the blood. It was written in blood because the blood turned a specific color on paper after a period of time. And that one Constitution was written in the blood of Crispus Attucks, and it was the 200-year George Washington challenge. Will the usurpers, the Jacobins, right, win, or will the Edomite earthborn win? Right. So now you got people who half-ass understand shit. That's why the conscious community is the worst problem for us right now. They take on these doctrines that didn't have nothing to do with us and become more engrossed in the characterizations from the doctrine than the people that brought that shit.
Yeah.
We more Muslim than the motherfuckers in the Middle East, more Jews than the goddamn Jew, and more Christians than the Catholic bishop. And that comes from the purity of heart of the righteous ones. That's how you can tell us apart. Right? And when we get to a certain age, we don't want to participate in this bullshit no more. It ain't right. We can feel it. We don't know what we feeling, but we know something ain't right. So then what we do when we don't know what it is, we bitch about it in the public domain. We put it in a rap song. We write it in the blues.
Yep.
Right? We play it in the jazz. Right? So when you hear about the strange fruit that Billie Holiday sung about, then you understand thug life. Tupac wrote about. Right? Then you get to see that there's something more going on than what they telling us, because all of our people that don't know what it is vexing the grievance that's pointing all in the same direction. Mm-hmm. They look like us. Them motherfuckers ain't us.
Yeah.
They don't know who we be, DMX, but we know who we be. You see? Yeah. So it's all in the music. That's Mississippian culture, or ancient Olmec, what's called the root tribe to the land. Mm. The root tribe broke up into families because Big Mama and Big Papa raised their kids right. And now everybody capable of settling on a different part of the land. Right. So all the tribes that was functional become dysfunctional when dysfunctional society is thrust upon us. So then we look like losers, derelicts, and motherfucking retards. Yeah. But then when we realize what's going on the land and we start reading the culture, we say, wait a minute, we ain't dumb as them motherfuckers thought we was. Hell, we ain't even dumb as we thought we was.
Mm-mm. We wasn't even dumb. It just was they didn't understand. They didn't know us. Yeah.
So earlier there, sister said something, and it brought to mind all of the conscious community and they belligerence to paleface. They say he ain't supposed to be here. Right? Well, where did he come from? Right. If he ain't supposed to be here? Did he come from another planet? Right? Now, they say they native to Europe. Paleface native to Europe. How did they get there? Right? Dr. Rich King say that they was from us. So ain't nobody here in truth that's not supposed to be here, no matter what they look like.
Facts.
You can't be here when you ain't supposed to be here. You might feel like you don't be supposed to be here because the vibration is wrong. That your job is to correct the vibration, right? And to get with like minds in order to establish the power to shift the dynamic in order to change the vibration. Everybody that's here supposed to be here. Everybody on our land right now supposed to be on our land. You know why? Because if they wasn't, we wouldn't wake up.
Thank you.
If we didn't go through this motherfucking bullshit we've been going through, there's no reason to wake up. I mean, everything is working the way it's supposed to work. Somebody got to fuck the machine up to wake us up. Yeah. Earth ain't running right. Right? So then they call in all of the ancient ones, Empress Bertiasi. And when the ancient ones get here, they say, hey, hold up. Miseducation of the Negro. Somebody got to call a state of emergency, Kwanzaa Kunjufu. Right? It's a conspiracy to destroy our boys. Haki Marabuti. Right? Accept your own and be yourself, Elijah Muhammad. What do that mean? In the Indigenous Rights Act, it pretty much tells you that going back to your old culture is the only way to overthrow this new system. This new system is not 200 years old or 300 years old. It's 200 and about 40-something years old. Right? From 1776 to now. But it really ain't 1776 because they went behind that agreement with the so-called civilized tribes, and then they made a treaty in secret and moved the capital from Philadelphia to DC under the corporation and out of the jurisdiction of the political body politic of the people. They went from a democratic republic of the people to a socialist corporate jurisdiction of an oligarchy. Mm-hmm. So we slept through it because we were asleep at the time. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. So Noble Drew Ali said, I'm going to leave these people in power long enough for y'all to learn how to run a government. We can run this shit out this motherfucker now. Bye. Yep. See you later. Your purpose has been served, and so have your notice. Mm-hmm. Right? They've been telling you they got an extension. How do you get an extension? Nobody's competent to solve the problem. All extensions is up. Ain't no more. The fall of America, Elijah Muhammad. Our savior has arrived, Elijah Muhammad. Right? Blueprint for Black Power, Amos Ian Wilson. Awakening the natural genius of the Black child, Amos Ian Wilson. Right? We don't need them. Right? We don't need nobody but ourselves to be sufficient in dispensing uniform justice across the land. The only problem is everybody don't wake up at the same time.
I can feel that. Some people still hold on to like yesterday memories. I can feel that. Because some people they pretty much like stuck in their ways and they don't want to look outside the box. But they can feel what's going on, but at the same time, I feel like it's a fear. I think it's a fear thing.
It's a miseducation thing. And the fear comes from the lack of the knowledge that's pure because you only fear what you don't understand. Right? Now, I understand that if I walk through the Serengeti Plains, that it's lions, it's hyenas, it's gazelles, it's zebras. All this shit is gonna be in my environment. I'm not scared of it, but I'm smart enough to know that I don't want to have a fight with a lion. I don't want to have a fight with a hyena or a leopard or a pack of wild dogs. So I got to govern myself according to the laws of nature in order to be superior to those things which roam through nature. And the only way I can be superior is to use my superior intellect to navigate to know up, there's a Pride Alliance 4 football fields ahead. I'm making a sharp left right here or a sharp right here. I'm not going straight. But then a damn fool gonna walk right into the Pack Alliance while they in the middle of a goddamn feast and fuck they party up. And then they gonna understand what segment energy means. The hard way. I don't have to learn the hard way. I know enough about lions to know that I don't want to fight no Pack of lions. I'm not scared of them, but I respect the shit out their position in the field.
Do you feel like Earth is already on the baseline 4D right now?
On the what?
Baseline like 4D, the shift, like the 4D.
4D is dream matrix. We in 2 realms at the same time. That's why we need sleep. We got to navigate 3 dimension and 4 dimension every day, 24 hours a day. And during the sleep period, you're doing 4th dimensional mind matrix, repairs, studies, whatever it is you're doing. But when you're in the waking realm, you're doing 3 dimensional fixed position reality bullshit.
Yeah.
What do you think about? I've been getting messages about, and I think this is connected to us repairing and fixing and healing the dream matrix is this through sleep deprivation. I've been called, and I did it like a few weeks ago where I didn't sleep for like 3 days straight.
So
like,
sleep deprivation for spiritual development draws the 4th dimension mind matrix into the 3-dimensional fixed position reality. Right. And the longer you can stay awake and in control of your faculties, the more power you have of manifestation.
Right.
Yeah, it's a spiritual, it's like fasting.
Yeah.
When you don't want to do it, nature give you insomnia.
Yeah, I did it for 3 days straight, and it was interesting. It's very interesting, and what I was able to accomplish, and then call in the stuff that I've been calling in into the 3D realm since that point. And I'm just gonna keep it going. Because I was picking up the energy. Big Mama really wants the woman to really be a commander in this, like stepping up into our commander energy, commanding the elements, right? Controlling all things around us, physical, bending time, right? Compressing the time matrix and all of that stuff. So I've been working on that a lot. And some things that I called in for to develop some of my skill, I was like, okay, this is such boom. Within 24 hours, it was right there in front of me. And I was like, that's exactly what I was asking for. And a lot of people don't understand it. I was going to say this about like manifestation. People be looking at it from a 3rd dimensional perspective, thinking that it's just the money. You know what I'm saying? There's opportunities. I said I want to tap into higher states of consciousness and understand the most deeper wisdoms of the universe. And then boom, I stumbled upon the cave of the ancients twice. And then boom, I stumbled upon the inhabitants of the cave of the ancients. So all of these things is the divine feminine, the woman, we're commanding the knowledge, we're commanding the understanding, we're commanding the wisdom, so we can literally use our power, our magic, and our spiritual development to flip this. Because I don't have time to be doing this in the physical realm. I can do it in the spirit realm much faster.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of the elders laid down one night and found that they could do more work on the other side and turned off their avatars. Over here in the 3D realm, we swear up and down they died.
No, they still here.
They like, no, I could do more work over here than I can down there. Mm-hmm. We got all of these attitudes in the way. Them all ego constructs.
Yeah.
You got all these entitled motherfuckers that feel like just because they related to you that they should have your shit. Or just because they know you that you should cater to their motherfucking needs.
Right.
And then they come in with bullshit. No, that's not how this shit go. You have to be wise enough to know when you earn your shit, you don't owe nobody nothing, and don't nobody owe you shit, and now y'all at a level playing field. If they come in like you owe them, you walk them straight to the back door and shut that motherfucker when they get through it. Because they came in with a handout, so you gave them a handout. It's a difference if they come in for a hand up. Because I don't mind giving you a hand up, but I'm not giving you a handout. I'm not focus hope. I just hope you focus.
What Rod, I have been working with a lot of angelics. I've been doing angel magic for a good little minute. But I do know this, the angels do reprogram the DNA. And certain people that's on the land will actually get these DNA programs. People that's doing work and from the physical and you know, maintaining and you know, with the shadow work and stuff like that involved, and trying to like up, you know, higher, you know, get your vibration up and stuff. And once you get your vibration up to a certain level, it comes with all these benefits of, you know, of certain beings to do these to help maintenance the body, because the body is like this, you know, a walking universe. The computer, they have to, you know, come and do these programs on you to like get rid of these parasites and these plugs and stuff that you've been holding on for a long time. So they got to reprogram the DNA back to the original DNA.
Look at your body like a cell phone. When we say angels and demons, those just apps. It's a signature and energy that allow your cell phone to do something that it can't do without the app. Right? So when you work with angelic energy and demonic energy, left side, right side, right? What
Yes.
you're doing is you downloading apps into your psyche, to your consciousness. An angel of life is an angle of light. And your crystalline DNA is a prism. And a prism for light is a prison for light beings. Mm-hmm. To escape the prison, you have to figure out how to get your mind matrix out of the prism. Okay, so now we're talking about holographic nature of reality in a time loop or a cyclic exit strategy. Everything is cycles within cycles. Every time you break one cycle, you need applied will to break a cycle. Once you break one cycle, you move to the next cycle. And once you got enough cycles broke, you break free from your ego consciousness into your God form consciousness. Now your higher self, your holy guardian angel, Aleister Crowley, is operating from Thelema, right? And now Thelema or Thelma, right, is looking for Louise, her sister, in order to put this shit back together. And if they don't find Big Mama, they're going to tear this bitch up and rob everything on the road. Right? So when you start reverse engineering, you find the anomaly, you resolve the anomaly, you solve the problem. And this is how you determine that history was a fabrication. The slave ship doctrine was written at Notre Dame University. That's why they use Notre Dame University's cathedral as the blueprint for the slave ship and Noah's Ark. Because academia, your so-called school system, is the ones that's pushing this bullshit that we came on slave ships, but we was already here. Mississippi clay dirt walking. Right? So since we was already here, none of us couldn't remember, so they had to call the ancient ones who don't understand why this shit don't feel right as a child, but as they mature, they begin to see all of our culture telling us what's wrong. They look like us, but they ain't us.
Even the younger
Thug
culture,
like.
the younger culture started start to catch on now. It's like, hey, they out there saying the same thing, exactly what you just said, Rod.
Mm-hmm.
They putting together like, you know, how would a ship would have this many at a capacity on that journey and have to deal with all the disease and all the, you know what I'm saying?
They would have never had to deal with disease. They would have been methane poisoned within 7 days.
Yeah, they killed it. Mm-hmm.
They'd have been throwing up, shitting, pissing from being seasick because they ain't from the ocean. They from the land. Now they thrust up on the ocean. Most of them gonna get seasick. One gonna throw up. Another one gonna find that repulsive. He gonna throw up. So now you got 3,000-4,000 people at a time throwing up, shitting, and pissing in the hull of a ship.
Yeah, especially dealing with the fumes because you know germs kind of have this aspiration.
They don't have, the germs won't get a chance to kill them. Ooh. They will not have enough oxygen to survive. They will suffocate in the gas. Okay. The germs will never have the opportunity to kill them because the average one of those diseases, E. coli, salmonella, that you get from that, they won't have time to gestate. You'll be already dead.
Yeah, they teach us that in the nursing home because when we notice, like, you know, a person that's elderly, they can't have the same, you know, clothes on. They can't have that, you know what I'm saying, be in the same bed without it being clean. They have to have a 24-hour maintenance on them, like, every day.
Mm-hmm. If not, they get bed sores.
Right? Yep.
It only a bed sore busts open in 48 hours if you can't move.
Yeah.
It'll bust wide open. So now, if the first 48 hours, let's say 10% of them got bed sores.
Yeah.
Now you got piss and shit going into the bed sores. Right? So they finna be fucked up before they die. But by the time the infection set into their body, the methane gas would have accumulated enough to suffocate everybody in the ship. Not possible.
Yeah.
But see, they never thought that we would be scientifically inclined enough to analyze it critically and say, nope, this didn't happen.
And what about them getting all those slaves? Like, you got 100 Europeans with muskets that they got to reload, and you got 100,000 Black people in chains. Like, how is that even calculated mathematically? You got to reload a musket, and by the time you reload, and somebody with a bow and arrow or a knife or something, then cut throat you, 100,000. Like, and we strong, we're fast, right? We're not just these, you know, we weren't the hominoids, right? We weren't just taking orders. We had abilities to think, and we were strong. So, like, how do 100 men get 100,000 strong Black males on a ship? Make it make sense without them 100 getting killed off first.
Well, we detect if they don't look at it, they give the excuse that we was all chained down. That's the look. That goes back to the other part of the discussion, is the gas chamber. But the first part of the discussion is, before they chain us down, what the fuck we supposed to be doing? So you saying they brought over Zulu warriors, Mandingo warriors? They didn't say they brought over little Bantus who couldn't do nothing. No, they brought over warriors, according to them.
Strong warriors.
Strong warriors. They just telling you who you was. When you start going back to the Gullah Wars, you understand why they say they brought strong warriors over here. See, when they call it the Seminole Wars, it was the runaway slaves joining with the band of Seminole Indians, which is not true. Them old Mississippians they classified as runaway slaves was already here. Mm-hmm. The Gullah Geechee was already here. The Getty Geechee was already here. Right? Mm-hmm. So if they already fucking here, and we come into this motherfucking war with nappy hair. That don't mean that these people ain't our cousins. I got cousins with wavy hair. My shit nappy than a motherfucker. I got people in my hair, got bone straight hair, but my skin complexion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And no, that's not how this shit go. Yeah, that's not how this shit go. Right? They tell us. Yeah. So if you don't understand warfare, right? Classics of strategy and counsel. If you don't understand On War, Carl von Clausewitz. If you don't understand the escapades of Hannibal, the military strategies of Muhammad Ahmed, if you don't understand the strategies of the Crescent Moon, all of this is materials to research. Right? And when you don't understand the great generals, right? The rise and fall of Napoleon, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. If you ain't studied all that shit, you know what the fuck you talking about. You think you do, because somebody told you something, but that's when the guy Rockham Allah say anybody ever told you a little knowledge is dangerous. It can't be mixed, diluted, it can't be changed or switched.
Gotta be told straight.
Right? So if they telling you this in the music, it's a reason. Hip hop is cultural.
Mm-hmm.
It's organic to the land. Then Africans wasn't rapping until they got rap from us. Chinese wasn't rapping. Japanese wasn't rapping. Hindus wasn't rapping. Europeans wasn't rapping. Wasn't nobody on the planet doing that shit until it came out of motherfucking Brooklyn.
Mm.
Why did it have to come out of Brooklyn? Manhattan. That's where they took put the hat on the empire. That's why it's called the Empire State.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? And the Empire State is the state that the empire was invaded. When you go back and look at the city crest, you'll see that they came in as Dutch and Portuguese, but they painted themselves pale when they looked like us.
Mm.
And we fell for that shit. Because Sitting Bull was sitting on his post. So Biggie got to get publicly flogged so the rest of the chiefs know who was sitting on their post.
Mm. Oh, it's about to get real good.
A friend of the family is actually relative of B.B. King, and he's a native to the Mississippi area. Yeah,
B.B. King was a chief. Yeah. He was a chief. When you see the two B's in front of his name,
yeah,
that's two 13s. He had two primary wives. And that's how he got to be king. Go back to the hieroglyphics and look, you see that the newly crowned king got a queen on both arms. Why do we keep referring back to Kemet? Why we keep going back to Egypt? Because we don't know that shit came from Arizona, New Mexico area, back off in the motherfucking hills. We think that shit popped up out of nowhere over there, but the Emerald Tablets tell us different.
Mm-hmm. I was just up there last weekend up in Sedona, and they were showing me in the rocks all of the different hieroglyphs and stuff like that, and then the monuments of Thoth and Horus, and the Temple of Isis, and then in the Grand Canyon. All that stuff is right there. I mean, it's weathered, it's aged, but the vortex is there, and they got us thinking that we from way across in the ocean and Kemet. No, that's where the civilization was rebirthed after some time, but it was originally all over here. They got your bird everywhere.
That's the military strategies of Thoth and the temple priests to set temples up in places to watch the enemy until we come time to get the motherfuckers from serving their purpose.
Yeah.
Because we all know, if you study warfare, we all know that you're only as strong as the strongest enemy you conquer. And we all know, if we know anything about military strategy, when you conquer a land, you have to win the minds and hearts of the people, or else you won't be able to keep control.
Right.
This is why the Civil War spirit of 76, the revolutionary spirit, is such a big deal in the culture. Because the victors got to write the history in a way that make the people not rebel against the victorious reign of an oppressor. So all the time they being oppressed, they got no knowledge of being oppressed because they won the Civil War and they mad. All the time, no, you didn't win the Civil War. That shit's still going on. You just don't know it. Because the victors write history. You can't say that enough. History is written by the winners. It ain't written by the losers. Right? So when you looking at history, you ain't looking at it from the perspective of the people who they say they lost the Civil War. You looking at it from the perspective of the winner. So now you think you won something. Now they can trick you into giving your land up by denying you access to the knowledge of self. If you don't know who you is, this is George Washington challenge. If you don't know who you is, right, at the close of the age, you can never possibly reclaim what's rightfully yours. Because at the close of the age, everything goes back to its original owner. The Jubilee was 2 years or 3 years ago. Why is that even important? It's a Jubilee year at the close of the age. That's the year that everything reverts back to its original owner. But you needed a family redeemer, somebody in the family that can clearly see the problem and offer solutions in order to overcome the deficit that the people been suffering during the time of warfare. We was in a warlock. They got us thinking that the warlock is the priest. No, the warlock is the condition by which your wealth is upheld until the war is over, to prevent your enemy from motherfucking plundering your coffers.
That's understandable. Does this harvest moon have some kind of effect right now? What's going on?
Every stellar event has an effect. Every stellar event. That's why we even watch the stars. Action, reaction, all is vibration, right? All is mind, right? So if everything is mental and is predicated upon vibration, it's all thought forms that manifest as three-dimensional fixed position events. Nobody was allowed to be at the close of the age in this set of cycles, the last 3 or 4 cycles, unless they came in human form. All of the mythical creatures had to put on a human avatar suit. So that's why we don't see centaurs now. They rolling around in wheelchairs. And we think that they handicapped. No, it's just that because they took on a human body and they don't have 4 legs, they can't properly function below from the waist down. Some of them get in car accidents, whatever. But they had to lose the function to betray the fact that they would have been a centaur in their raw form. Right? So we see them as those in the wheelchair. Right? Then you see the babies with cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy, and we get all jacked up out of shape when we see them. We don't know that they too powerful to put in a regular body because they'll fuck this bitch up. So you got to they just want to experience 3D reality. And that's why it looked like all of them be smiling that big ass smile. I can't believe I'm actually experiencing 3D life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even the disabilities have a purpose. A lot of them is there to remind you of that how capable you should be in your healthy whole body when you got this motherfucker that's supposed to have Down syndrome to handle all his own affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And they got so many syndromes, I can't even name them all. They all functional. They can handle their own affairs, but here we is supposed to be able-bodied whole beings, and we can't even motherfucking keep our bills paid. Because they tricking us the whole time.
Let's talk about that bills word. I ain't paid no bills in 3 years. Let me just say that, right? When I did have a job, I wasn't paying my bills. My shit was fucked up. But it's like, as the turn of the age started, I got more frustrated and with the way that the world was operating. You know what I'm saying? I have these feelings like, why is it that we are here paying to live on this planet? That never made sense to me ever since I was a child. So I was, going through my whatever spiritual stuff, and I was like, you know what? Let them start talking about some ET ships. I ain't paying no more bills. The next thing you know, some Navy fighter pilots were shooting at some UAPs. And I was like, no more bills. So I haven't paid bills in like 3 years. People are really caught in this mind fuck where they feel like that's their responsibility to pay somebody else to provide them a service that's already provided for them through nature, right? So you take 4 minutes of the sun. 4 minutes of the sun can power the earth for a year. 4 minutes of solar output can power the earth for a year. We're not using what we have. We haven't allowed ourselves to step forward fully in fear of what can be done to us or what we're going to lose. Oh, they're going to come get me. The man going to come. Fuck them. Fuck the man. Let's get all of this technology, all of these people who have this wisdom and this knowledge of how to create life on this planet so that we don't have to be out here working, that we use the technology to work for us, right? So that we can get busy being creatives and free. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody know how to be free. Everybody think they got to pay bills and this and that and third. No, you really don't got to pay no bills living on this planet. Mother God provides all the sustenance that you need if you need, desire, and want food to eat. It's already there for you.
But
right?
it required two things.
What's that?
You have to pay attention. That's how much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do some labor, and then you pay it in full. But that's where the problem come in, because they took us from how we lived across the land, and then they gave us a new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? By giving us the new lifestyle, they gave us monopoly money as the means of operating on a monopoly board. It's a legal fiction. It's just a board game. Once we realize it's a board game, now we have to see the method for getting out of the board game and getting back to life, soul to soul. Back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now.
Hey, Rod.
Right, yeah.
So Rod,
I pretty much
been using burning my dead away with the emperor. I've been trying to get rid of all my dead, everything from every little previous life that had debt to it. I'm just burning away.
Look, the system of debt is the paper-chained slave system. The paperwork and the uniforms makes them appear to our people to be legitimate.
Less contract.
Right. Now think about that. The paperwork and the uniforms make them look legitimate. Most of us don't know the suit we call the monkey suit, the 3-piece suit, the 2-piece suit, the Masonic uniforms.
Yeah.
Them Masonic uniforms. If you want the Masonic lies to come at you, wear a uniform with no lapel. You take the lapel off, you take your sovereignty back from them. Now they pissed. They don't like that shit. Because you might be doing it in the sense of fashion. They don't know that. They think you in the know. They think you know that as long as you got that lapel, you just a bell.
My stepdaddy tried to get me into the lodge like a couple years
Look,
back.
the lodge is the rites of passage for royal families. They just got hijacked.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was the rites of passage. Eastern Star, or the Daughters of Isis, is the natural science of the earth.
Yeah.
It's been concealed in the Sufi orders of the green light and the Sufi order of the red light. When you see the whirling dervishes, the women used to do that, and they make it look like a DNA helix coming off of them while they're spinning in the black light. Right? So now they practice it because they have to keep the ritual because it's a natural earthborn ritual that the women used to do. Science has already discovered that Sufi rituals has a side effect of raising the mitochondrial resonance that allows for creative thinking to manifest creative ideas. The only problem is the men can only sustain it until the ritual is over. But the women do the ritual, they walk in that energy for months, changing shit everywhere they go just with a question.
Yep. Them facts, Rod. Them facts. Creating them, because like people just kind of like get into that space where they stop asking questions, right? They just get comfortable with what is, you know, like I'm making it, so I'm good, right? I'm step back. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm not gonna shake the boat. I'm not gonna rattle the boat. No, we need to start asking questions. We need to start questioning everything. We need to start understanding why, what keeps us from breaking this whole system as it is, because we can do it. What's keeping us from it? And a lot of people, they're afraid. They don't know what's beyond. I don't know about y'all. I know about y'all, but I remember the times past when we never had to live like this.
It resonates with me. I could feel it because back in the days, like a while back when I was young, I used to daydream a lot. And I used to see things a little bit different. Like I used to remember how everything was just so fun. Everything was just so pure. Nobody want for nothing. You know what I mean? Right. Food, anything it was always there. You know what I'm saying? This was coming from my grandmama. You know what I'm saying? She always made a way for us like this. You know what I'm saying? And I used to daydream, and I just feel the same way, man. It felt like I had another family somewhere where we just had everything. You know what I mean?
Them are past life recalls. When you a lot of what they call daydreaming, they tell you that the idle mind is the devil workshop. Devil mean enemy. So who is it that don't want you to be idle minded enough to participate in some shit called higher thinking? They like to tell our people when they analyze something and they go a little further than the average person, they overthinking. You're not overthinking, you're just thinking over their head. Right? So you got to learn how to outwit the devil, Napoleon Hill. Right? You got to know what a mastermind
is. The details.
Yeah.
The devil is in the details.
Yeah. That means that when you analyze it and break it down to its lowest component, the enemy gonna betray itself because he got to leave a signature to his work. And this how you know George Washington, Adam Weishaupt, and Albert Pike is the same motherfucker. You can only tell by their works. Right? The real George Washington was from Barbados. But the fake George Washington was from Virginia or France. Why he got 3 birthplaces? This shit don't make no sense. Why motherfucker need 3 places of birth? Because Adam Weishaupt was born in France. The imposter Washington was born in Virginia. But the chief that they murdered that was a Washita was from Barbados. And usurped and switched him out with this pale face. Wooden tooth motherfucker. Right? They make it their business to tell us he had wooden teeth. Think about that for a minute. They go out their way to make sure we know he had wooden teeth. That means he's not real.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So
what's your view on the whole Nasara Jasara? I was reading up on a little bit in the Nasara and was saying that the act is going to require people to go back to their native land. Wherever they came from, they're gonna have to start going back there.
They talk about family banking now.
Family banking.
You have to trace your roots back to the oldest matriarch from the land you from. But so many over here, people so mixed up that they permanent foster children to the tribes.
Mm.
You can't send them back to nowhere because they ain't from nowhere over there.
Right.
All of their cross sections of their DNA is here.
Yeah.
So now you got motherfuckers that don't. This how come you had all of those different looking tribes in the Gullah Wars. The same reason. This has always been the great melding pot because the first families of the land was taking wives from every clan around the world to diversify the DNA from the ancestral relations of the royal families. We already knew how to prevent the Habsburg chin from overtaking our community. They just figured that shit out 100 years ago or less. We've been doing that shit for thousands of years, bring in new blood periodically. Right? It's the same thing when we breed dogs. Like I have a good breeding program that I was breeding. I had double XLs, but they had birth defects. So I introduced throwback blood. The throwback blood is the Staffordshire Terrier, which is the original pit bull that was used to create the double XL bully. Right? So you use the throwback blood, you increase the lifespan of the puppy and his overall health for that lifespan.
Yeah.
But as long as you continue breeding the birth defects repeatedly with no new blood, it's going to get more and more pronounced until it becomes a detriment to the species.
A lot of health problems. Yep.
Look, everywhere you see the double serpent, that's a DNA helix. Everywhere you see the DNA double serpent, that's a DNA helix. From the staff of Asclepius or Hermes to the same staff of Tahuti with the double serpent, with the winged serpent, all of that's the DNA. The wings at the top mean that you've activated both sides equally. Now you can fucking fly like a god, but it don't mean fly like a bird. Right? Because the gods take on human forms to do human shit. And in the realm of the human, the highest humans are the ones who are flying above the rest in works. See, they think it mean when you flying like a god, you floating around, hovering and shit in your body, just levitating across the land. You might be able to do that too if you download the right app. But that ain't what it means. It means do what Tupac did. Right? It means do what Biggie did. I mean, do what Eazy-E did. I mean, do what Quincy Jones did. They works is what causes them to fly, and this is how you attain status. The only way you can live forever is you do something that make your name live forever. And as long as they call on you, you can rematerialize when the DNA lines up to the frequency you came in on the first time.
Yeah, I feel that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was the funny thing I was thinking about that earlier, like working on getting our wings back. You know what I'm saying? Making them operable again in this realm, so that we can bring order back to this place. You know, it's one thing to have wings and you not flying. You know, you just pecking little crumbs on this ground. You're not able to move and maneuver through life and take your frequency and shift the frequencies anywhere other than that one spot, that one location. But once you work on yourself, getting your mind right, getting your body right, getting your spirit right, all that stuff, yeah, you can walk on water, right? You can, like I said, fly. You can have power over the things of this world that most people don't think is possible. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we here for. We ain't here to keep pecking on no damn fucking bird feed on the ground. Goddamn, we here to fly and make the power known.
It's funny you would bring that up because I did a chicken coming home to roost Malcolm X post the other day. And then within 3 days, Keefe D got snatched up by the Las Vegas police. Keefe is the coffee in the penitentiary. Keefe is the name of the coffee they sell in prison. Right. So Malcolm gave me a Chickens Coming Home to Roost knock. Then Keefe, and then it was based on black coffee. Because the Oracle says she sang Black Coffee at the Betty Shabazz Farrakhan Apollo meeting.
Wow.
Right? And then the Malcolm X knock came in because they changed the Audubon ballroom into a barbecue joint where they barbecue chicken. And barbecue is leading the return of the Haitians in Haiti. Right? So it's a Haitian knock off New York before the flood on a chicken coming home to roost, zigzag across the land, walking the Cricket Man, Big Tookie, patron saint of the handicap, and those who work with the iron, the weightlifters. Right? And the vanilla gorilla, Arnold Schwarzenegger, signed the executive order because he had a border state to take Big Tookie off death row and to put him in cryostasis instead, because that's how he became Mr. Freeze in Batman. So once he became Mr. Freeze in Batman, then I knew that Eldritch is the elder who's chopped the cleaver that gave me the soul on ice before he became a man on fire. And that's a West Coast knock off of a Symbionese Liberation Army that was represented by Patty Hearst, who became Tanya, standing in front of the seven-headed serpent, the Nagas King. And the Nagas King came by way of Tupac Amaru, who was the king of the Nagas. That's why he was able to go in every community and get love. He was the golden blood. Right? That's why I know that they look like us, but they ain't us, because he said they tell me it's the white man I should fear. But it's my own kind doing all the killing here. See, when we don't know who's who, then we don't know what's what. Right? So my chief Larry Hoover say, don't go out there gang banging, brain bang. Well, nigga, I want to gang bang. Because I got a whole bunch of heads I want to crack. I don't want to be on this internet doing this shit, but that's what they want me to do. So this is what I'm doing.
I was looking at the video about the genetic engineer mosquitoes, the ones they were using for, it was engineering the mosquitoes, and you will see different videos where crowds was being like dropped on, like mosquitoes was dropping on those crowds.
That's that end of shit. Look, the mosquito has been used as a carrier for thousands of years of poisonous agents into the human. Inky decided that he would make a species of human that the malaria that comes from the mosquito can't affect. They call it sickle cell. When the vibration of the earth raise up and we get done going through this full-time belt we going through, they upgrade, they genetic upgrade. That's going to be a badass superpower, but I don't know how it's going to work. But I know that those with sickle cell was preserved by giving them sickle cells. The sickle cell is only supposed to activate during the presence of malaria. Western science has found a way to activate the sickle cell in the child with the trait. And I think I know what they do. I think they inject them with mosquito enzymes and malaria enzymes that's not the actual shit. But because of the presence of the enzyme, it tells the T cell that the malaria is present, therefore attack everything you see till we get this motherfucker. All right. That's just how I'm perceiving it. without doing the scientific investigation yet. But that's what it looked like to me. Somewhere in the vaccine process, they injecting something from malaria and mosquitoes that's causing it to activate the sickle cell. That's a dormant trait. And sickle cell not just supposed to flare up. Something is being done to them people, and that's how we know, because of the crisis they go through. We know they did something to make the body say that malaria is present and the sickle cells have to activate. I just don't know what they're doing because I haven't got a chance to get in the laboratories with the science and shit. Because I figured that shit out in one day.
So we're going through the photon belt. It's not, it's an alignment that you had mentioned that, because last night I did a TikTok video about going through the cosmic womb, and how when a mother is giving birth, travailing and giving birth to a child, that baby get that cone-shaped head when it goes through the cosmic womb and stuff like that. And it's not the cleanest experience, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bloody, it's a little messy and stuff like that. But once you are birthed once you get that head out and them shoulders pop out, then it's everything just gonna slide out and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people are kind of like looking at this as a gloom and doom, and all of these bad things are gonna happen. We're gonna die. You better make sure you get your vibrations up or whatever have you. Just a lot of fear mongering and stuff going around in the spiritual community. And it's something that's a natural phenomenon, right? And I feel like we have to start looking at it as a natural phenomenon, a birthing process. You know what I'm saying? During this process, yes, there's some pain, but once the birthing process is complete, all you really care about is that this new birth has just occurred, you know what I'm saying? And the pain is gone, and you just in love with this new child that you've given birth to. So like keeping people aware that everything is not all doom and gloom that's coming up. There are a lot of things that have been going forth in the collective that we don't know about. In the military, they say, it's on a need to know basis. You got to have security clearance to kind of like know what's about to happen, because everybody don't need to know everything, because like we're in a fifth dimensional chess war right now, you know what I'm saying? And misinformation is legal. You can lie, you can cheat, you can say stuff that's not right in this galactic war, so that you can keep the secrets a secret until it's time to play your next hand and stuff like that. But everybody thinking that it's finna be this doom and gloom war, that the Anunnaki finna come back and just destroy everybody. I mean, to be perfectly honest, all of Marduk's and the armies that have worked against the human collective's empowerment are tumbling down. We really don't even need to do anything much at this point. Just kind of like just focus on yourself, keep your health right, keep your mind and heart right. Do what brings you joy and stuff like that. So what would you say to the people who's thinking that all this shit finna pop off into this great, it's gonna be a show? I tell you, get your fucking popcorn ready. You know what I'm saying? It's already this shit already funny.
So
a lot of people.
People been sending me so people been sending me Senate debates, right? I'm over here dying laughing. I'm like, yeah, Senate debate, right? They debating on is Trump impeachment versus Biden impeachment and all. I'm like, man, this is a whole theatrical performance. If you go to DC, you're gonna see that the Senate building is surrounded by a big ass fence, the same as the White House. Where they broadcasting from?
They probably at Tyler Perry Studios.
Hey, they've been putting Joe Biden there in Castle Rock Studios, and they also have a Raven Rock, Virginia, with a with a White House simulation Oval Office in it. Right? Well, I got told the people, look out the back window. Right? You ain't supposed to see a stack of boxes and motherfucking track lights out the back window. That's a studio. Look, then one of the news channels, I think it might have been Fox, was up close on somebody, and then when they drive back, You see all of the lights and they say a studio right above them and all that shit. I'm like, see, I told you motherfuckers, this shit is all a show. It's all a show. Military is in full control of this shit. They letting the public narrative run out until we reach critical mass of awareness that the shit show is over, and then they're gonna roll the rolling credits and they're gonna tell you who is who and what's what. That's the great reveal, or the great knowing, or the great revelation, or the great apocalypse that they've been talking about. It's been a show a whole time. We've been in the middle of a game of the gods. This is a chapter of misery. Misery is over. What happened after misery? When all of the misery is used up and you can't get no more motherfucking energy out that shit, now what's going to happen to the misery? You done used it up. What happened to your gas when you use it up in the car? The car ran out because that motherfucker don't work no more.
Yeah.
So they just trying to use up the last little few sips of the misery at the bottom of the cup of the sacrifice of the saints. And the saints is the righteous ones who became the pauper gods, the downtrodden, the neglected, the rejected, the black sheep, the stinky boy, the one with the funny looking face, the one with the strange hairstyle, right? It's their turn. I tell the motherfucker, I don't motherfucker owe me nothing. I had my motherfucking hurrah in the sun. Right? I'm trying to make a way for these babies. I don't give a fuck. I'm 50 years old. Shit, whatever I do from here, if it don't benefit these babies, it ain't worth me doing.
That's what I was doing it too. I was doing it for the kids because I don't want to see them going through another solitude type of misery construct of corporation and dealing with debt and dealing with all this, this BS.
So when we say we got a calling, you got a calling when you working for something that don't got nothing to do with you. I'm not going to be here in 100 years. Well, maybe I might, because we finna unveil this healing chamber at the World Fair that's going to extend our life to 1,000 years. But at some point in the future,
I'm here for the party. I don't know about y'all. I'm back for the party.
Hey, most of us came back. That's called the grand finale. A lot of us came back. We better learn the Alafia song. That's all I can tell us.
Thank you.
we better learn how to sing Alafia and be gratitude and grateful for the ancestors returning so they can end this bullshit.
I had a lot of bumps in the road. I had a lot of bumps in the road, but I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, hey Rob, what about that upside down flag that's in distress? That's everybody posting right now.
They flew it again?
Yeah, they just flew it again.
When was it? I didn't see it yet.
It was like 3 days ago or 4 days ago post. They had one at the White House, they had one at the post office, a couple of schools had upside down flags. I'm like, it's a distress, but like, you know what I mean? I had to look it up myself.
That's the fall of the corporation they announcing. A final fall. Remember, today is the 30th, and they don't have an agreement to extend the contract any longer. They trying to negotiate an extension, and they got until midnight to get it done. And I doubt if it happened. The game is over. As soon as you got these little 12-year-olds on TikTok talking about, I don't know why they keep telling me I'm from Africa, I'm from here. That's when you knew it was over, because the babies know who they is. When them babies is telling you, when the young chiefs is bumping up against the chiefs that's trying to clean the land up, bucking for a position like a phase 1 or a Sabir Bay, right? They telling you this shit over with. But none of that people didn't pay attention to, but they gonna pay attention to this upside down flag. The Patriots know what that means.
Yeah, I got it. It was on the 27th. Yeah, it was on the 27th.
So most of the Patriots, right? Most of the Patriots came from the patriarchy. That's what patriot means. Soldier of the patriarchy. Right? I'm not a patriot. I'm a matriot. I'm a soldier for the matriarchy. I'm about my mama business. Fuck what they talking about. And my daddy backed me up on it. I'm about my mama business and my daddy gonna back me up on it. Fuck what they talking about, fuck who they telling. My big mama told my mama, don't worry about it, baby. He ain't gonna leave no stone unturned. If it's a stone left unturned, that's because that motherfucker buried somewhere.
What would you have to say about, I observe a lot of, men in the spiritual community and stuff, and they doing their thing and stuff like that. But I'm not observing them putting the woman up there. They're not putting the woman out there. I see them doing a thing and they got these huge platforms and stuff like that. And so the women are following these platforms and they're learning some stuff, but they're not necessarily outwardly, I haven't seen many of them outwardly speak out about the throne that the Great Mother is supposed to be on. Like, do you feel that, I feel this is how I feel, that it is kind of like their responsibility to know that the position that they have is not for them. It's for them to put the Great Mother back where she belongs.
Yeah, that ain't what they believe. That's why I said the worst thing right now is the conscious community. Because a lot of the guys in the conscious community just think it's a pussy hunt. So as long as they think it's a pussy hunt, they're not going to stand up for what's right. They just going to stand up for how to get the pussy.
Right. And the money.
The bag, that's how they get it.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't know that.
Woman.
But they don't know that the real bag that you see the Anunnaki holding in the hieroglyphs, you see the Egyptians holding it in the hieroglyphs, you see the motherfucking Hindus holding it in their hieroglyphs, you see the motherfucking Mesoamerica holding it in their hieroglyphs. The real bag, that belong to mama's daughters, my sisters. And you motherfuckers not getting your hands on that motherfucker.
7 sisters.
I done ran interference on that shit, so the bag you chasing ain't got nothing in it but an empty hole in the bottom. Fiat. They just said it was the bag. That's not the bag. But you can't tell these motherfuckers that think they're getting them because they got 100 pounds of fiat. They got 100 pounds of monopoly money. And they swear they balling out of control. But they don't know that Big Mama can turn that monopoly money off in a blink of an eye. So while you chasing that dollar and neglecting the sisters and destroying your balance and not doing your shadow work and not trying to break no generational curses, that shit gonna haunt you. That's the meaning of a haunted house. Sorry, motherfucker that won't do his work.
Let me tell you, you just talked about a haunted house. I was in the dreams realm and I was at my grandmother's house, right? Second time in a row I had been at my grandma's house in my dreams. And there was a whole bunch of healing that I was doing there. The first time and the second time. Second time I recognized I was at my grandma's house. It was like my grandmother we had in that front room and nobody sat on that furniture. She had the runner and the plastic on the furniture and stuff. Nobody sat there, but it was the picture window in the front of the house in Chicago, South Side. And the window had skeletons and stuff on it. And
like Halloween decorations.
It had Halloween decoration. My grandma wasn't no Halloween. She really wasn't doing no stuff like that. But I ran out of the house screaming because I was like, I've been in here twice. What y'all trying to tell me? And there were people coming in the house, visiting her house like it was a haunted house. And they were looking at me like, oh, it must be really good in there because she coming out screaming. I was like, no, I ain't scared. It's just like a mind fuck. I'm like, fuck, my granny and them trying to communicate something so that when you said haunted house, that just brought everything in.
Okay, and I remember earlier I was talking about we in the chapter Misery and the Pauper Gods.
Yes.
Okay. And this Big Mama house that we cleaning up.
Mm-hmm.
In the chapter of Misery, you decorate for Halloween.
Gotcha.
Earlier you said something about not letting the enemy know your move. I just posted that yesterday or the day before. When Donald Trump was saying that the military wasn't going to be announcing no start and finish dates because they don't want the enemy to know.
Right.
Right. And then the CIA, which was behind Malcolm's murder, behind Martin's murder, behind the deportation of Garvey, behind the usurpation of Du Bois. And these niggas look like us, Jewish Defense League, right? The Khazarian Mafia, but they use pale-faced fronts to confuse the people as to who behind the scenes pulling the strings. Right?
Please.
So you be talking about the synchronicities, like when we having this conversation, I'm talking about your shit and you talking about my shit.
Oh, your shit.
But they do. I kind of felt like they was actually using, you know, the pale face as a alibi, or you know, or somebody to just throw in front, like this what you only gonna see, but you ain't gonna see what's behind it. You know, so they're gonna show you only much as they can show you.
So
that's when you.
My feelings ain't never been hurt so bad as when I found out they look like us.
Thank you. Right?
Yeah, that hurt. That you know, I feel the pain off of that one too, man. Cause it kind of do resonates, and you know, cause there was a lot of slave masters that actually owned Negroes.
Remember what Tupac said when he got shot? He said, "I got shot in the middle of all my riding for our people, putting it down, going from city to city, making meetings with OGs in every town I go to, and a motherfucker that looked like me shot me." He said, "Nobody couldn't have told me that was even going to be a possibility."
Yeah.
Right? But then he go into talking about how the Panthers was infiltrated by COINTELPRO. Same ones infiltrated the Nation of Islam. Same ones that infiltrated the Nation of Gods and Earth. Same ones that infiltrated UNIA. Right. So all of these pro-black groups with niggas in it, but all of them ain't niggas.
Right.
The niggas are them niggas that came over here to usurp us and tell us we from Africa so they can say they the originals. This is why they keep trying to convince us this Northwest Africa, aka Al-Maghrib. I don't have no problem with them saying that. I just got one question. Can you show me a map before 1492 where this was Al-Maghrib? And that's going to cause tantrums because that doesn't exist. Now you direct challenging their information on a level that they're not prepared for. Because there is no Al-Maghrib before 1492 proper over here. But it is an Al-Maghrib in Northwest Africa over there that's been broke up into about 6 countries.
Yeah.
Right? Because Africans was trying to take their shit back from them. They couldn't really make out what was going on because it looked like them too. Right? So when these the Samuel Jackson character from Django married Big Mama when she was young and then poisoned her and took over the plantation. Right, which is actually which was actually the family farm.
Yeah.
Right. So he took over the family farm. Then he hired Miss Ann and them to come and work in the house and pretend to be the master. All the time, this nigga running the show. And that's why we were so against the slave, the house nigga. That nigga was running the show the whole time. So he erased Big Mama house name off her house. Just take Mama out. Let's just call it the big house. Bitch ass nigga, that's Big Mama house. You can move there, but you can't stay.
That explains that movie when Samuel Jackson he playing the character the dude in the Django. Because every time he saw the rider came up, and being the fact he's a melanated person that's coming on that horse, and he was like the whole time, who is this on his nag? You know what I mean? The whole time.
The reason he was scared is because the only ones that rode around like that was us.
Yeah.
Old Mississippi and Bass Reeves ass niggas. We was the only ones riding around like that, and he was scared that he was gonna pull his whole card and tell the niggas in the field, which was us, that he the goddamn slave master. It ain't them pink people up there. They don't got no problem with us. They just doing their job. They going to work, going along to get along. Cause they was the ones thrown away like trash. Where you think the term poor white trash come from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the big mama didn't like that. She said, you can't throw people away like trash. Right? So they took the poor white trash, threw them down there with the poor black niggas, and then they masqueraded as if they was uppity niggas. Where these uppity niggas come from? They've been rich the whole time. We've been suffering. Where these niggas come from? And they ain't helping us out the suffering. Where is these niggas coming from? Who niggas is these? They not us. They got gated communities in upstate New York, gated communities in upstate New Jersey. But they don't want nothing to do with us. But they supposed to be our people. Them motherfuckers ain't our people. They not our people. Or else they wouldn't be calling Biggie up at motherfucking 3:30 a.m. in the morning talking about, bitch, I'ma kill you. I know you the chief, I'ma kill your ass. I know you Sitting Bull, motherfucker.
That's why they felt threatened about Jam Master Jay. They infiltrated Jam Master Jay, and you know, because he's like maybe a chief or something like that.
All of the ones in the hip hop world that died mysterious deaths was a chief that had a confirmed assassination hit on him. I seen Jam Master Jay. He went and got dreadlocks and gold teeth.
What about the other dude that started NFA? The guy that not fucking around organization in malicious group.
I don't know who he is.
Let me research his name real quick. Cause they had him locked up for like starting a military group.
You ain't talking about his name is Grandmaster Jay, is it?
Grandmaster Jay, I believe. Yeah.
He's just in the way. He want him in the way. He want him in the way ass niggas.
Oh, okay. There ain't nothing came out on him just yet.
Yeah, and the same with the rise of the Moors. During the rise of the Moors standoff, not a single shot was fired, but all of them went to jail and they didn't do nothing wrong. That don't make sense. That shit scripted than a motherfucker. There is no way some niggas like us that look like this gonna stand there in full military regalia in front of these motherfuckers and they don't shoot. They shooting. If you don't believe me, ask Joseph Sinkyu if you can dig him up. Or ask John Africa and the people from Move. They wasn't even armed and they was getting lit up. You know, so all that shit was just to show you that Morris shit some bullshit. And if you continue along that path, they got some shit for you. We ain't in Almagria. We in the Amur Inca. And we was the old Atlan before them motherfuckers ever even knew we was here. Now, remember the narrative they gave us? They told us Columbus was looking for an alternate trade route to India. You remember that in school? Why they didn't tell us wasn't no such thing as India yet?
Yeah.
It wasn't no such thing as India yet. How the fuck he try to get lost going to India when India don't exist? It's Hindustan at that time. Right? So what the fuck is they talking about? How did he get lost going to India when India didn't exist?
Exactly.
And how the fuck is we in ancient Morocco when Morocco ain't even fucking ancient? I'm just saying. I mean, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I tell you, I'm sharp enough to cut some shit.
Hey, they really mad about that, man. That Morocco situation, and they catching hella floods and storms and surges, you name it, man.
I
Earthquake.
sent it. I know they catching it. Every time one of these niggas talk about they Moroccan, that motherfucker gonna get hit again. It gonna get non-stop assault until they realize that Morocco not stronger than Mother Nature. And until Big Mama put back on her seat, ain't nobody finna be happy because we're gonna tie this bitch up with the weather.
It's happening in real time right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the astro, and I've seen it several times. I saw New York was just done. It was getting raised, and now they got this second. This is the second time they flooded like this in the last couple of years. And you know, New York has, in Washington D.C., they have the most sophisticated tunnel system in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So they don't flood out, right? And now that they flooded out, these older buildings, these structures are going to be weakened. I mean, so bad. And if people aren't getting out now, you should start. Because it can't stay. None of this can stay the way that it is. And we just go back to things the way they used to be. Normal is not normal anymore.
Yeah. So a lot of us think that this is the norm. That's not the norm. And as long as they believe that they going back to some shit called normal, they're gonna be severely disappointed. We're not going back to that dumb shit. They call it normal. I call it dumb shit.
Just retarded.
Yeah, everything was done to enforce ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break out of that mode of ignorance, you become the problem. Well, I'm a motherfucking problem.
A glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, I seen there's a lot of that. What he was saying, as far as like the you know what I'm saying. I've been seeing a lot of the weather. Like every time somebody come forward and say who they is, you end up seeing the backlash from it, like less than a couple of days. But it been prophesied like years back about New York, and everything is still like it's coming to reality.
That's just to stop them from participating in the system. That's it. If they would have stopped participating on their own, Mother Nature wouldn't have intervened. If they listen to the words, anytime somebody come with wise words and you ignore them, nature then takes its course to correct the course that you on. And New York was a stronghold for the Dirty Moors. All 5 boroughs know what I'm talking about. It's some motherfuckers there that don't belong, that all of the 5 boroughs don't want them there. That's it. Yep. Hey, I just had some visitors come through. Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap it up.
All right, Rod. Well, definitely, Rod, man. Thank you for everything, man. Bless, man.
Yes, blessings to you. All the time. Blessings. All the time.
Thank you for hanging out today, boys. It was nice.
Always. You know where I'm at.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go and take it from here. I'm gonna roll on out. I gotta go in and see what's going on.
Okay, we're finna get ready to end it out.
All right.
Peace. Love you.
Peace.
Well, thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Like always.
I was just happy to be a student.
Yeah, I'm still a student. I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I'm still on my quest. I'm still, dissecting the information and you know what I'm saying, transcending from the information. But I had took a lot of notes on a lot of things that was happening. And I was saying, like, the early stuff that was happening with the disappearing of, like, children. I'm like, wow, adults, disappearing out the hospitals and just disappearing right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Right in front of you. Boom, gone.
I was seeing in the
that's them
spirit
going
realm,
back
they
to the
was
other
saying it
earth.
was gonna be like that rapture, kind of like
Is that
that
them
rapture
going to
energy.
is that them like going to another parallel universe because this one's too much for them? Like you were saying with the frequency and stuff.
Some can't handle it. Some consciously chose to not continue on, right?
Oh, okay.
You know, because some of them can light body out of here and just be like, okay, this is it. But most of the vast majority of them, they not able to hold a frequency.
Okay.
But some of them will be like, oh, this it. Let me get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And they frequency gets taken, and they, like you saw, they just disappear.
Okay,
some drop dead, some disappear. You remember the Bird Box movie?
Yeah, the Bird Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Some gonna disappear, and then I watched the Bird Box too, and it had was showing people who they was killing themselves, but they body, the people who could see was seeing a light body escape from their physical body, and they will go up. So that's a lot of that too, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna be very entertaining for us over the next couple months to a year. So
Oh yeah, most definitely. I will keep my eyes open about a lot of different things. I just write it down and try to, like, understand it. If I couldn't understand it, I always ask my elders.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Try to piece it together and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you had any like messages from your higher?
Just from what I was sensing yesterday, and Ross said the same thing. He mentioned the photon belt, and then Great Mother was bringing it to me in the terms of a childbirthing process, and I posted about that yesterday on my TikTok account. But
I saw that.
They just want us to really like anchor into the higher frequencies. Let the bullshit go. That's the main message: is let the bullshit ride.
So what's your messaging for people to try to overcome and try to step into that higher frequency? What they must do other than the shadow work now?
Just stepping into whatever they love. When you stepping into your highest form of play, right? Mm-hmm. That's you and your higher self. Because this is just a play. This is a dance, a cosmic dance, and your higher self is playing. But when we're not in that alignment, we have that frustration, misery, and turmoil in our lives. Just play. We don't imagine enough. We don't play enough. We don't go outside enough. We stuck to the TV. We stuck to the phones. Get off the phone so much. Get off the TV so much. Stop looking at the news so much. Go out and be in nature sometime. Just get away from the technology that's sucking your energy and your attention away from yourself and nature and the beauty in it. Yeah, that's how you connect with your higher self, is to getting away from this phone. It's technology so much.
Yeah, that's.
But we the Anunnaki, so it was like we a real technological race of beings.
Yeah, a lot of people had everybody was pretty much like they didn't know how to come at that. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing so much different information. It's like one information led to, like, they eat the golden people, and one information like they derive on slavery, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man.
If they could keep us away from knowing who we truly are, they can continue this game. When a group of people, a group of beings recognize that they God in this world, that they don't have to succumb to these rules and regulations that they put forth and to oppress us, right? To keep us from our God. So now I don't blame them as oppressors, but I'm like just saying that they playing a role as an antagonist in the story to wake us up. We gotta get it, and some people not gonna get it. I got the assignment.
I was gonna tell Rod about the Olmec head came and seen me. Oh man!
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was about to say about the Olmec head. Like,
oh yeah, I remember you said
the face of the Olmec statue. It didn't say nothing. It was just like
it looked like your face.
Yeah, look, it was just like they were just sitting there, like,
yeah.
It ain't had no words, but it was just like maybe just like a message or something. I was gonna ask them what it does, what that means to like see an Olmec statue.
You looking at yourself, because when I see you, I see the same face.
Yeah.
like you saw your higher self that time. It's like this is the version of you.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna put it together. Like
you
I
gotta
had
find
family,
out
or
who
I
that
was.
Olmec, who you were as an Olmec.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, have some fun with that.
I'm gonna do some research on that one, sis. I think you got us. You know
No
what I mean?
doubt.
I know you got stuff to do and stuff.
Yeah,
I love the songs too that you was you were dropping on the TikTok.
Oh, I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, just share my music out there. You know, I'm trying to do my
I'm
thing.
gonna make sure I do that. I'm gonna make sure I do that. Share your music and stuff. A
I
lot of people be
appreciate the
looking for
support.
that stuff. I think that's your calling. Higher frequency music, vibration. I think that's your calling right there.
It is. It's one of them
That
things.
that love tone and that frequency. Yeah. That's a
Right?
lot
I
of
said
healing in
everybody
it.
gonna get pregnant with, because Inanna is a goddess of love.
That's the healing.
Yeah.
You do a lot of healing.
Everybody finna get that healing, that sexual healing, all that good shit.
I feel like I knew everybody who I experienced talking to. You, Rod, all y'all. I just feel like I know y'all all my life, but it's not quite open yet to it. You know what I mean?
We haven't opened up all of our DNA strands and our memories yet. But when it do, everybody just gonna gravitate to each other. Everybody gonna know where everybody is, and it ain't gonna be no mistakes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's going down. It's going down. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Another shift coming in October the 4th.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the kids home from school that day.
October the 4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because it's just a precautionary thing, and I'm just like, I ain't taking no chances out there because they doing stupid stuff with these schools and stuff.
Yeah,
and
running.
So,
school shootings. Yeah.
Yeah, not doing it.
I'm very. I be thinking about that all the time because I got my two oldest, and it's a lot of the school shootings and stuff like that. They, not just the schools, the low, the elementaries too.
Yeah, it be the babies.
Kids, they don't even know no better. You feel me?
They just
go in there to learn from this ABCs and stuff like that, and come home, and they always have that happiness on their face.
Yeah,
they be happy to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yep. They like our heroes. It's like we won't know that it's something wrong in this world until we see the children are constantly, right now, they're constantly under attack. Yeah. The critical race theory, the transgender shit in the schools, the school shootings, and all these different things. I'm like, leave the children the fuck alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Leave the children alone. Because children, they go back and they play with each other and they just want to have an experience. And it's just these grown-ups who just fuck up everything. And I'm tired of that shit. Y'all gonna leave the kids alone. That's just what it is.
Yeah, definitely, man. I guess whenever we get a chance, man, we can just come back in another couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
I know you got a lot of stuff, man. I seen that you was like,
I'm not as busy as I look.
Yeah, you've been you've been in the pyramids and traveling and stuff.
Yeah, I get it in though. I get it in, and I come back and I just chill. I don't do nothing.
I've been wanting to visit like the spots like that.
And I'm hoping to get more people out here to see stuff like that.
Because it's
different
Arizona?
when you look at it. And
Arizona or
Arizona.
Like Mexico? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Arizona. Arizona is like rich with our history. It's like right here. We don't need to go further out than right here. And that's a drive, you know what I'm saying? For some people, take a flight right quick.
Yeah. Like maybe that's gonna be like, man, Florida from there, man, that's a good little drive.
It's a little drive, but still, you know what I'm saying? People come out, like, imagine this. I'm really ready to start the tribes to start coming together. We start having retreats and we start having like healing circles and time together to talk and just drumming and singing and dancing and just being in our old ancient culture that's been so lost. We so busy with work, phones, life. Yeah, we're gonna have to start converging and getting together and stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. But thank you, Inanna.
No doubt. Thank you for the invitation, Z.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I love the pink. The pink.
Thank you. That's Inanna's
Yes.
color.
Yes. I
You know what I'm
see you.
saying? I was like, let me get cute. Let me get cute. Because, you know, I was talking to Rod. I said, I was feeling intuitively. I was like, I feel like Inanna had an arranged marriage. She was like, yeah, it took with me. So Rod and I were in an arranged marriage, and that was to try to bring peace
Yeah.
to the land and stuff like that. Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
You see how we always talk about
hopefully
the same stuff.
Hopefully I can see it through though. Hopefully I can see it through though. I want to see the plan through though, really.
Yeah, we all do. And we don't even know what that plan is particularly, but we here to embrace it all one day at a time.
One day at a time. Yep.
Yeah. So shit, I don't even know all the stuff. I just know they tell me when they're ready to tell me something. And then I'm like, oh, okay. This is what's next. Okay, let's do it. Let's rock.
Okay.
So but I'll let you get out of here, Z. I know you got some things you got to do as well. And it was always a pleasure connecting with you. Yeah. And I'll see you on the flip side.
You already know.
All right. Love. A peace and love to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Namaste. Peace.